world against the #1 middleweight in the world. On September the 10th at the O2 Arena on Sky Sports box office, I think we've got a very, very special fight. Kell Brook is a fighter we've worked with for 13 fights now, and every time I watch him, I think this boy is very, very special. I had the privilege of being at the Madison Square Gardens when Gennady fought David Lemieux. Felt exactly the same. Sometimes two special pound-for-pound great fighters meet, and that's what we've got here. At a stage when British boxing is at an all-time high, Kell Brook steps up for the most dangerous fight in world boxing, 2 divisions above his natural weight. Just like Marvin Hagler, Sugar Ray Leonard, when Leonard moved up to fight Hagler at middleweight from welterweight. To be a great fighter, you have to do great things. And that is what Kell Brook is attempting on September the 10th. And let me tell you, from our side, we are very, very, very confident of success on September the 10th. Not here in a no-lose situation, here to win, here to shock the world. And Kell Brook is having a great training camp out in Fuerteventura, ready to do just that. Already on the card, with over 14 world champions from British and a fantastic victory for Carl Frampton at the weekend, stepping up in weight to beat the favourite in the fight in Leo Santa Cruz. We have Saturday night fight nights on Sky Sports that is just littered with World Championship boxing. Already 2 other World Championship fights on September the 10th. Domestic one with Lee Haskins defending his IBF crown, bantamweight crown against Stuart Hall, and young Charlie Edwards in just his 9th fight, fighting 2-weight world champion John Real Casimero for the IBF flyweight title. Plenty more to come on the bill. And of course we must thank today HBO, who will be taking this fight live, and all our worldwide partners. And of course Sky Sports, who without their involvement and without their support, British boxing would not be in anywhere near the state that it is today. Whilst other UK broadcasters now feel the flavour for British boxing, Sky have been there from day one, consistently backing the sport, and we are delighted that they are our chosen long-term exclusive partner. It's an absolute pleasure to be working with Tom Loeffler. I've been looking to bring Gennady Golovkin to the UK for a number of big fights, whether it's Carl Froch or one of my favourite fighters of all time, Darren Barker there, who very nearly took the fight against a very young Gennady Golovkin, but you know, luckily Tony Sims came to his senses, even though Darren was desperate for the fight. And it's an absolute pleasure to, I believe, bring the world #1 pound-for-pound fighter to the UK. It's a pleasure to deal with Tom Loeffler in a sport littered by politics, when actually, if you really want to fight, and if you believe in the business model, it's very, very easy to get things done. And that's how it was with Tom Loeffler. And at this time, I would like to introduce Tom Loeffler from K2 Promotions to talk on behalf of the show, and of course, Gennady Golovkin.
Thank you, Eddie. Boy, we really appreciate the hospitality that Eddie has shown in putting this whole deal together. We were getting a little bit frustrated with the last negotiation, and then I tell you, we can't say it enough. The heart that Kell Brook shows as a welterweight is much bigger than many of the biggest name middleweights out there that won't get in the ring with Gennady Golovkin. So our hats off to Kell Brook. Ever since we announced this fight, it's just been a massive response internationally. As Eddie mentioned, it'll be on HBO in the United States. We just did a deal with RTL Nitro in Germany. That'll be the first fight that they broadcast of Gennady. So we're excited about that, and then all the international TV partners. I'd like to give a special thanks to Barney Francis of Sky. As Eddie said, you know, it's with that platform of Sky here in the UK, it just enables the success that British boxing has had, and you know, it really solves the problem for both Kell and Gennady. Where I know Eddie's had the same struggles I've had getting a big name in the ring with Gennady, and this really solves the problems for both fighters, and it's turned out to be a massive event with the ticket sales, the O2, to the international response. We just had the press conference in New York a couple weeks ago, and it was a tremendous response over there, so we're really looking forward to September 10th. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom, and it's a pleasure to have Barney Francis here from Sky, head of Sky Sports, probably the busiest man in British sport, and a massive boxing fan as well. I won't embarrass him too much, but I know that at a time when probably many people and broadcasters were looking at boxing probably 5 or 6 years ago thinking, where is this sport going? Barney Francis, as a boxing fan, was one of those guys that wanted to make sure he stood by boxing. I think that's really, the vision that he had is really coming into fruition now as British boxing is in its strongest time ever. So to say a few words on behalf of Sky Sports, Barney Francis.
Thanks, Eddie. Yeah, good to see everybody here today. Thank you very much for having me. When Eddie rang me, and it was quite late at night, and proposed this fight, I was firstly massively excited and obviously hugely supportive. The Sky Sports and Matchroom relationships, incredibly tight and strong one. And to bring a fight like this to the UK and to the Sky Sports customers, we are thrilled to bits. We've been long-term supporters of Kell. He's continuously delivered on Sky Sports, delivering great numbers for us, been in exciting fights. And we knew that a step up and a fight of this sort of nature was just what he needed. So Eddie and I were, you wouldn't be able to separate us with a cigarette paper in talking about this fight. It's something we're hugely excited about and wish both fighters all the best. Delighted that Gennady is going to be fighting in the UK and on Sky Sports box office. So we're really looking forward to a great build-up and a great night. I wish all fighters the best. Obviously, it's a massive autumn for us in boxing. We've got this fight. Shortly after, we've got Crolla Linares. Followed shortly after by Cleverly versus Bramer. We've got Bellew, we've got Burns coming shortly afterwards. So a great roster of boxing, and what a brilliant way to kick it all off with this super fight. So we're delighted, and as I said, on behalf of all at Sky and Sky Sports, I'd like to wish the best of luck for both boxers.
Thank you, Barney. Don, fresh back from the training camp and back on the plane after, out to Fuerteventura. It's been a couple of weeks since you spoke to the media in New York, and seem to have a very happy fighter in Kell Brook, and I know the training's started very well for you guys out there.
Not sure about all this jet-setting lifestyle, back and forward America and then training camp and back, it's all new to us at the minute. But yeah, we've had a great camp so far in a little place in Fuerteventura called Caleta de Fos. It's out of the way, there's no disturbances, Kell can get down to the hard work. He's put in some good hours already. We've got another 6 weeks to go, everything's on track. Hopefully next week we're going to start sparring, we've got a few sparring partners in mind. And all I can say is that, Kell Brook is going to get into the ring on the 10th of September in the best shape of his life. And he's going to have to be in the best shape of his life because he's fighting Triple G. And it's going to be a tremendous fight. Kell's going to give everything he can give, and he's going to come out there on top. We've looked at Golovkin, a couple of fights. We've got a plan in mind, and it's a case of, implementing that plan on the night. And hopefully, Kell Brook, he's always said he's going to make history, and so far he's been doing that. He went to America, beat Sean Porter, and we're confident on the 10th of September that, it's a big ask. People are, going to say that's not possible, but Kell Brook is going to become the new middleweight champion of the world.
Talking about obviously the step up, we've always felt Kell Brook has so many more levels. Even in the Sean Porter fight, it was a performance that we felt was 60–70% of what Kell Brook can give. A chance here to obviously do it against one of the most feared men on the planet, but to show those other levels that we all feel and know Kell Brook has.
This is the type of fight that you've got to go up the gears. You can't keep at one pace. Golovkin's a very, very clever fighter, and Kell's going to have to match him for everything. You're going to have to be ring craft, power, boxing skill. He's going to have to use his brain in this fight. And Kell's got that in the tank, and it's the fear, the fear of the fight, what makes you perform the best. And you go into a fight with fear, you're going to get the best performance, and that's what it's going to be with Kell. Kell's got to be mindful of what's coming at him, and we've addressed all the issues, all the scenarios, what are going to happen, and he's going to pull it together on the night.
Second part of a fantastic set of trainers for this fight. Abel Sanchez, welcome. You've been over here a number of times before, once of course on the losing side of the Kell Brook fight. Your facility out in Big Bear is just wonderful, and I know you've been a huge part of Gennady's success, and I know you are aware of the ability of Kell Brook. I'm really looking forward to this fight.
Yeah, about 4 years ago, to the day, we were sitting on a stage like this with Kell as an opponent. Of course, there was probably not even half as many cameras. We have a lot of cameras today. And you've done a great job with your partners in building up the championship level of boxing here in the UK. Along with the great coaches, Ingles leading the pack. We lost that day, or I lost that day against Kell. I know that he's improved a lot. He was a green kid back then, 4 years ago. So we're looking forward to a hard fight. We're looking forward to fighting the best welterweight in the world. And hopefully it could be the kind of fight that the fans expect. By it selling out in 11 minutes, I imagine that they think it's going to be that kind of fight. So hopefully the buys are just as good as the ticket sales, and we put on the kind of fight that you all want to see.
What is it about Gennady as a fighter that makes him stand out from the rest? We know about his power and obviously his commitment in the gym as well, but tell us a little about Gennady as a person and a fighter that makes him the best #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world.
I think that these guys at this level, as Kell is, they're very cerebral, they're very intelligent inside the ring, and that's what makes for a great fight. It's a chess game at the beginning, but when the fight gets started, as Dom just said, that fear will become aggression, will become intelligence, will become that motivation factor that makes him want to win and makes him want to excel. So for Gennady, and I think for all great ones, as Kell and Andre and Floyd, it's the intelligence that they possess and that they take into the ring.
Thank you, Evan. Kell, Brook, you definitely go down in history as the person to accept the offer to fight Gennady Golovkin the quickest, the moment you've been waiting for a very long time.
Absolutely. You know, the biggest fight in world boxing. You know, it's a fight that makes me so excited to be a part of the game. I'm the best welterweight on the planet. Nobody seems to want to fight there. You know, and Triple G, the same at middleweight. You know, so I think it's the best fighting the best. You know, looking at today, you know, when we stand next to each other, there's not even nothing. You know, in size. You know, I'm bringing the speed up to the middleweight division, and we're already getting big numbers from the power. So I'm bringing, you know, big power as well. You know, so it's I'm ready. I'm ready for this fight. This is what I want to do in the game. You know, be the best. You've got to beat the best. So it don't get any bigger than Triple G. You know, for me. You know, and this fear factor in this, I'm gonna be so sharp, so alive for that night, September 10th. You know, I wanna see. Nobody's ever got the best out of me in all my opponents I've been in with. You know, I want to test myself to the highest you can be, you know, in this sport. And I know 10th of September, I know that we're going to see the best in me. And I'm excited myself, you know, to see what I can do. Because, you know, we know what we can do in the gym. You know, I always seem to do enough. I always find a way to win. You know, and it's going to be the same September 10th. You know, it's going to be massive drama in the fight. You know, and the fans. You know, it don't get any bigger than this. You know, it's sell out like lightning. You know, and that's what warms my heart. You know, that I'm giving back to the fans. You know, this is the biggest fight in world boxing. You know, I've stepped up there, I've shocked the world. You know, in this fight, and I'm gonna shock everyone. You know, September 10th. It's like, you know, when people run on about weights, you know, Mike Tyson, one of the biggest heavyweight, he was fighting guys 3-4 stone heavier, and you know, we're an animal, you know, and you're going to see the best in me. I'm a natural weight at 160, and watch me perform September 10th. Thank you.
How excited are you to show that power? I was speaking to, I think, Dave Colbert at the weekend, who said when he sees you spar at 11-6 and that kind of weight, you're one of the hardest punches that he's seen. And I think a lot of people are not realising how strong and powerful you are going to be at that weight.
Absolutely. You know, I'm very healthy at that weight, very well hydrated, eating very well. So I'm getting pushed in the gym. You know, I'm training like a wild horse. You know, I'm training so hard, and just feeling, you know, with the sun beating down on me, drinking plenty of water, eating. You know, the food out there is beautiful, and you know, I'm pushing myself every day in the gym. You know, because I want to go down like my heroes, Sugar Robinson and them kind of fighters down in history. You know, they've done massive things, and you know, in the modern day now, that's exactly what I want to do: be involved in top fights and beat the best fighters. And you know, and Triple G is definitely, you know, the top fighter out there today.
Thank you, Joe. To the reigning unified middleweight champion of the world, Gennady, welcome. And Obviously, a huge turnout here today, and a fight you're very excited about.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm very excited. I'm very happy to be here in London. First of all, thanks Sky TV, HBO, and of course promotion. Thank you, gentlemen. Right now, I can give true fans, UK fans, amazing event. I believe this biggest fight for us because I see Kell. I respect him. I respect his team. He had very good, very strong team. And I understand this is not easy. This is true. It's very serious business for us. And he said he ready to me. I'm ready to him. I'm ready 100%. September 10th. I believe I bring amazing show, like big event, like drama show. Please don't lose. September 10th. Thank you.
Thank you, Gennady. And just finally, many of us feel, and the fans feel, this is the toughest fight and test of your career so far.
Absolutely, I think this is the biggest test for me because Kell, he's true champion, but now he's coming to 160 to middleweight division. You know, staying in the middleweight division. I understand. I remember history. I remember a couple of fights in history, like not long time ago. Like Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard. I remember many Pacquiao fight with Margarita, with De La Hoya. These bars. Everybody has problem because different speed, different timing, different power. I understand it's not easy. It's true. It's biggest test for me. Absolutely.
Thank you. I know we have a couple of questions from Sky Sports News and Fraser Dayton.
Gennady, welcome to England. Nice to see you here. The word fear has been used a couple of times from the Kell Brook camp. How much fear is there for you going into this fight?
No, I'm not scared. No, I understand this is business. I understand my situation. I understand my position. It's business. I respect sport. I respect boxing. You know, thanks to promotions. These gentlemen bring, you know, present to UK, and I'm ready. I'm ready to boxing, to business.
And Kell, you said you were already seeing big numbers in terms of the power. How much are you already starting to feel the benefits of moving up and not having to get down to 147?
Wonderful for me. I'm eating very often, nice sized meals, and I'm feeling a lot of energy. You know, when I'm approaching each training session, you know, I'm able to give, you know, a lot of me, you know, 110%. You know, so I'm not minimizing my meals to make 147. You know, so I'm giving the team a lot of energy for myself.
Thank you, Fraser. So thank you all for attending. We're going to break here for photo.